think we're good there. Sweet. Okay. So as we look at some of these selected calendars, does not come back with a 404. And did we look at that? Not yet. So we're in schedules right there. Here in selected calendars, we do a get. Would this ever come back without that? And I would think no. I think find many also comes back as an empty array. So no matter what, that's going to be there. So yeah, I don't think a 404 is accurate. Now, posting, we got an issue there. Doing a get for a specific one, yep, that's not right. User ID is not a number? Interesting. I'll have to figure that out. That's different, though. So yeah, I think our patch requests are the next ones that we want to fix. Oh, and I should leave a lurk somewhere. Oh. Hold on. There we go. That was my bad. All right, that's funny. So yeah, lurking sympathy. I think the one today went well. It was meant to be like a background interview, but we ended up chatting about just DevRel in general. So yeah, I think that was good. Yeah, I liked it. Got 2 more tomorrow. All right, here we go for Teams. Yep, Teams is going to come back, even with an empty array, I bet. Ooh, and slots here. Yep, never mind. We didn't see any documentation for that. Nice, Evden. Good work. Yeah, I don't think this will ever return a 404 either. So yeah, a lot of our post and patch endpoints. We're going to have to get in there and actually like give values for some of these things. For some of them, we could actually just add the examples, and the examples would get sent for us. And that might be a good move. But for others, we're going to have to make sure that we do like anything that sends over an ID, we have to replace that ID value, right? So yeah, patch and post. Right, getting users. Yeah, let's go look at it. I don't think that'll ever actually return a 404 either. Nope. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll be trickier. I think we're using the wrong API key for creating a user. But I'm not positive of that. We'll have to look at how that works. And then last but not least, we're going to get to webhooks. And this is interesting. So they're saying user ID here is not a number. What value is actually getting sent then? Yeah, I'd be really curious about that. All right, so then getting webhooks, same gist. It'll come back empty. No, this is just, we started, it's a bit of a story. So there was a hackathon, OSS Hack, Cal.com and some other companies were sponsoring it. I wanted to make a CLI tool for Cal.com. To do that, I needed an SDK generated from their OpenAPI spec. I went to do that. Noticed that certain things were not as they should be, and then started realizing that now the pivot would actually be establishing a good Dredd.js test so that we actually know the API responds the way that the specification says it will. And at this point, yeah, I'm not going to fix the entire API for them. We're knocking out some of the low-hanging fruit and making sure that we can at least get these tests to a point where they're accurately calling out inconsistencies, rather than just me not sending the right data to a patch endpoint or something. If we look at the list, we've currently got 76 of their tests passing, 84 failing, 46 are currently skipped. The ones we're skipping, you know, that's a bunch of like delete, so that we can like do this without having to reseed the database. Things like that. The delete endpoint, or like requests, actually work. So we're closer to like 100 passing tests. Of the 84 currently failing, let's see how many we got rid of that were 404s that just didn't make any sense. So we should, no, hold on. Before we do that again, We need to restart the server. Shouldn't need to do the reseed stuff. All right. So yeah, probably still going to have the 76 passing. But what's the deal for the failing ones? That I'm not sure about yet. If we do the math, it's probably going to be like 70-something failing now. And let's pour some more water. Man, yeah, we are nowhere near our normal average viewership. It happens. Oh, you know what? Yeah. So that's not going to work until we rebuild. Yeah, we need to rebuild this Open API spec. It might make sense to do that before we run the tests no matter what anyway. Right, add it to our command. Because I'm going to keep forgetting that. All right, cool. So now we got to restart this. Otherwise, the Prisma client totally borks on us. All right, we're up and running, and there we go. So we should see the failed test be lower this time. I don't think we're going to have any more passing tests because we haven't worked on that part yet. So our next step, I think, is we need to go create all of the entities that we want to delete. So yeah, basically every delete endpoint. Oh, it actually did increase the passing too. How'd we do that? I guess there were some other endpoints that we modified. I just forget how. Okay. So that's good. 4 more passing. Way less failing. I'll take that. So yeah, let's go through and let's close a lot of these. Hey, where'd you get that gold? Let's just close all of them. We can pop this open separate and this open separate. He got 2 in one day. Yeah, I saw his thing about getting the record for Hype Train. Dude made like 30 grand in a day from that Hype Train. From just the one he posted. That's crazy to me, dude. He made 18 grand just from bits. Another like 21 grand from subs. Hold on, 7,000, 2.5. More like 20 grand. 18. So let's just say like, yeah, 36 grand in one day. In one Hype Train. Like, whoa, dude. That's pretty legit. He's sitting at 7.9K viewers even. Yeah, crazy. Killing it. Okay, so creating teams. Can I do that? They're doing another Hype Train right now? Like, dude, yeah, he's going off. More power to him. So here's something. Yeah, when we're doing this part, get existing IDs just takes in the API keys. I'm wondering if we need the IDs too. We do end up needing the IDs, yeah. Okay. Yep, gotta stop and restart this. So create team just takes in an API key. Can I actually create a team with this user? That I'm not sure of. I think I can create a user, though. Let's just try it. So yeah, it'll throw if we fail. That's easy enough. Right, and we're not passing those. So yeah, we gotta go here and pass those values. So pro user API key, pro user team API key. We want pro user ID and pro user team ID. All right, so we see that kick through. Will it blend? When I just realized there's no system audio over on YouTube, so no music. Someone was mentioning that yesterday and I misunderstood what they were saying. That is loud music. There we go. Okay, cool. Ooh, looks like my noise suppression or something is off. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a lot of noise over on YouTube? Anyone that's watching over there? Like coming from the microphone? Yeah, it looks a bit heavy. Okay. So error in the before all undefined reading of ID. Line 22. All right, so creating the user did not work. So create response 401, which means that this user is not allowed to do that. So pro user team, are they not the owner of that team? Let's go look at the endpoint. All right, so creating a user. How is this getting actually evaluated? Ah. Okay, so only an admin would be able to do this. That's right. Okay, so that's actually okay. We don't need to create the user themselves. We just need the deletable user. And we need this Dredd data value, right? So we're creating deletable user ID. And they've got a deletable user API key. Okay. Right. Okay, so get temporary IDs. We don't need to do user. That goes away. because user is being handled elsewhere. For team ID, let's try that part. My guess is that we're still going to hit that ID error. Yep. Okay. So, yep, line 23 is what it would be over in here, and it's this part now. So, team is not created. Can a non-admin user create a team? Am I missing that part? And hey, thanks for the emoji over there on YouTube. Thank you. Is that from doing a like? What causes those? Oh, it's the little heart icon thing here, right? It is. Yep. Okay, so this is interesting. How are we getting a 401 for this part? We see 409, that it already exists. Yeah, I'm not seeing how this would actually give us a 401. We don't know it's a 401, actually. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I'm not logging that in here. Yep, never mind. So here in creators, in create team, delete me team, sure. We got our slug there. This is a post to that. The API key comes in. Now here's my question after that. I wonder if this is the issue. Oh, you're right. I need to. It wouldn't be a Santa hat though. I gotta find it. It is a Christmas beanie. I just don't remember where I put it, but it's a good one. And yeah, it's probably one I should like grab at some point soon. Yeah, I'm wondering if we're getting to like this part. So let's see what that ends up being. If this is successful, then I think it's on this end. And we could just check. Okay, so not for creating users, but creating teams. Do they return the team to us? They do. So yeah, we get a response of that. Yeah. So it's just going to be response.team.id. So this step we don't need. Oh, I do want the log still. Const response JSON is equal to await response.json. So create stream response is a 400. Ah, okay. So yeah, we're just sending something wrong over here. It's most likely external ID. I might need to send that as a string. Yeah, I might want to log out what we're actually sending over and what I'm missing. But from what I saw, slug and team name were the only required things, right? Oh, it's name, not team name. Well, that would be it. Yes, a name is required. The others are not. Oh, actually, it's saying a bunch of these are required, so their endpoint's not actually accurate. Wait, what? No, typo in my today command. How's it going, Graham? What you up to? That's just me saying knock with a Jersey accent. Knock. Boom, nailed it. Okay, so when we look at this, there is so much on there that is necessary. Like, yikes, dude. Ooh, there you go. Ooh, that sounds fun. Hell yeah, Graham. I just had one of my first DevRel job interviews in over a year. Looking forward to it. We'll see, we'll see. I don't necessarily want to jinx it. Just saying it now is probably already kind of jinxing it, but, you know, also don't want it to go, you know, I don't want any negative sentiment if I don't get it either. I can send you a message PM-wise. I just don't want to broadcast it. I think it went well. I think it was like a really, really good conversation. Yeah, I'll send you a Twitter DM. Oh, I never remove the beanie for an interview. If it's the type of job that would require me not wearing a beanie, I don't think I want that job. Like, nah, man. I don't think I want that job. There you go. Just sent you a message. Yeah. I think it's a really cool like product and idea. So yeah. I don't want to dig too deep, but yeah. We'll see. It was a really good conversation though. That's usually how I judge these things. So if it was a good conversation, then I'm optimistic. So this is the big thing here. Team model requires a fair bit. Here's the other thing that I find interesting. Slug is optional, not required like their spec says. Yeah, so none of this is accurate. The 409 needs to be called out as well. I'm not. I use cal.com for, you know, like, well, when we've scheduled our, like, co-streaming stuff, right? Yeah, Graham, so basically they had OSS Hack, which was a hackathon a couple weeks ago. I ambitiously thought I was going to make a CLI tool for cal.com, but to do so, I needed a Golang SDK to interact with their API. So then I started down the process of generating that SDK from their OpenAPI spec. Couldn't find their spec at first, so I had to go through a rabbit hole of generating that in a different way. And then from there, realizing that, yeah, if they weren't generating the spec properly in production, do we think it's even accurate? So then I decided it was worth running some Dredd testing against. And we have uncovered very many inconsistencies where the spec does not do what it says it will. Like we just saw, I fixed a bunch of requests that were, you know, it says a 404 is possible, but it isn't, right? Like doing a fetch for teams will just give you an empty array, not a 404. So there was a large amount of those and other things that, you know, right now we're uncovering the fact that this 409 error is not anywhere. So yeah, stuff like that. Am I going to go through and make their entire document proper and perfect? No. And in fact, I'm just going to... Here's the thing. I actually need this to work for myself, I really, really, really want to finish it today. And not finish it today, but get to a point where I'm ready to just give it to them as a work in progress PR, and if they want to work on it more, they can. But if they don't care about their open API spec being accurate, why should I? Like, you know. I did send a message like, hey, if y'all are hiring, I'd be happy to champion this towards like third-party integrations, but they're not hiring right now. They did reply back, though, which is cool. But yeah, you know, if they don't care about their open API spec, it's not worth it for me to care that much either. At some point, they'll need to. For the time being, it's not my problem. I got other stuff I need to do for Vexilla. All right, so we add that 409. We need to call this out in our notes. So for teams, and I don't have any feedback for that yet. So for this part, spec does not call out required or optional body fields properly. Oh, I got you, Graham. I'm sorry about that. And yeah, right, like, my sass probably didn't help. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's a bummer, man. I know. It's just rough when it's directed at you and not other people. So yeah, more water. I'll allow myself a beverage at some point. But going into Seattle tonight, so definitely not overdoing it. No, I get you, man. Less sass, more sass. There you go. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's good. That should be a bumper sticker. People would think you mean sass like SCSS, though. But yeah, so spec does not call out required or optional body fields properly. Slug is not required. And what are the other required props that we got yelled at about? Is private, hide, book a team member, Brand color and dark brand color. Time zone and week start. So yeah, bare minimum, I'll take all this and post it into the PR as well. I'll probably want to like format this as proper markdown at some point. But yeah, like we can still fix the low-hanging fruit. I can still get my like delete stuff going. Yeah. And yeah, what up, Cassadev? How you doing? Yeah, Graham, did you see the message I sent on Twitter, though? That way you know. And I'd love to shout it out, you know, if I get it. I think it's the only dev advocate role I have lined up right now. All the others are engineering. I'm doing well. Doing well. I have applications out to others, but yeah, I haven't heard anything back from any other like DevRel. So it's hard to break into DevRel, man. Oh, okay, I missed that part. Yeah, really interesting company. Ooh, oh, Graham, hold up. Let me send you this message too, real quick. Yeah, thank you. I just sent you another message too. Yeah, let me know. Cool. Yeah, let me do this real quick. Yeah, they reached out to me specifically. Do you have a link to your like CSS experiments like blog series? Doing trunk-based dev? I'm trying to remember the difference. I think often when you're talking about trunk-based dev, it really aligns most with like traditional style software and less like web style software. I know, right? Like, really interesting stuff. Yeah, those are awesome. All right, anyway. Yeah. I think it's really interesting just showing that, like, you know, you think outside the box and stuff. And yeah, Elsonet, I'm definitely missed that. Thank you for that sub. I appreciate you. Yeah, exactly. Better finish CSS Duck Hunt. Now, I just think like fun content like that really gets people interested. All right, so we're not going to fix all of this. We're just going to make it work for what we're doing. So slug is not even required. But we'll do it anyway. We should probably do the full thing. Oh, and time zone. What's like the official, like, time zone list? We can just grab any one, basically. Yeah, it's a time zone identifier. It would be America / Los Angeles or something, right? Yep. Okay, so let's restart this server, just to be sure. Ooh, and hold up. Yeah, we can see that that's getting logged out for us a little bit. And we can see... yeah, I wish it had the path for us. There it is. So week start is a string. We don't see what value that is, and I'm missing week start. I say it's a string? Really? Oh, and hold on. So, a draft of CSS menus and the checkbox hack. Yeah! You want to release it on Free Code Camp, but not as your first article there? Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I'd be really curious if there are some ways of making it, you know, better than not. Right? So you can still have something that works if the JS didn't ship. but you can actually improve the accessibility once it gets there. I think, that solves like both cases of progressive enhancement and, being accessible. So I think there's value in that. All right, so I don't see what week start means there. If I just say Sunday, are we good? So using details summary is better. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought about that. Okay, I like that. Ooh, yeah, I didn't even think about it. Huh. Yeah, no, that sounds like a banger of an article, man. I'm looking forward to that. Right? Yeah, it might not look pretty, but the CSS makes it look prettier, so you're good. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be awesome. I know. Hey! Alright, so we can create the team. Perfect. Yeah. So that's even better. Awesome. So now we just need to go through and create a whole bunch of other things. And then we can turn on the delete endpoints. Cool. All right, so next up, we've gotten team ID knocked out. Not relevant since only admin can create users. So now, creating a schedule. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. All right, so we need a schedule. Do we have one of those yet? We don't. I really want to get these in order at some point. Event type, custom input, selected calendar, destination calendar, webhook. Yeah, so we don't have any of those yet. Okay, so creating a schedule, we take in the API key first. Easy enough. We're not sure what else we'll take in yet. Yeah, he's having an amazing day. Graham, I'm not sure if you were here while we were chatting about it, but he posted the hype train where he broke like Twitch's all-time record or whatever. He made 35 grand from that hype train. Just the one hype train. That's crazy. Yeah, dude. So yeah, he's killing it. So Heartbound 2, when? Yeah, how was Twitch breaking? I didn't hear like any of that, so I'm curious. What does that actually mean? All right, so I don't think we need slug. This is to schedules. And what is required in creating a schedule? Oh, chat was just super laggy, huh? It was crashing browsers? Oh my god. That's hilarious, dude. Nice. All right, we need to look at the endpoint for creating a schedule. He couldn't go past level 55? They hit the end? Oh, man. He popped off on YouTube Shorts. Yeah, that was totally it. And he's not a jerk like some people. I think that's a big part of it. And he has a lot of, like, insight. Like, you know, he's got a lot of clout as well, right? Having released Heartbound and having been a game dev at Blizzard and all that stuff, right? People really, like, subscribe to clout. He doesn't mind answering the same questions over and over again, right? Yeah, exactly. Once again, that's all under the kind of a jerk umbrella. He's been going for 13 hours? Oh, wow. That's gnarly. That's real gnarly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've done 12-hour streams. I've done 18. For no specific reason, just did it. Yeah, Graham, I've done 18 without any special occasion. I just, you know, woke up early and kept working. Farthest I've ever gone trying to do a 24-hour stream was 21, though. It gets real hard. It gets real hard at that point. I mean, I don't think the money is going to influence how, you know, how drained you get at like 21 hours. Weekly stream on Thursdays? Yeah, it makes sense. So they're saying name and time zone are the only required things. I don't know why, I just don't believe them. Let's go look at it. Yep. They're lying to me, man. Let's go look at it just to be sure. Because they do. It happens. As a startup, they have to prioritize where they put the work in. If they don't think there's good value from having accurate Open API specs, that's, I don't know. They know their business better than I do. All right, so name is required. Let's look at the base here. Yeah, so omitting ID makes sense. Time zone, they omit as well. And then they make it partial. And then they add time zone back. So where is time zone? It's its own thing, right? Which I think is required. So it ends up just being name and time zone. Everything else is optional. Cool. All right. And what's up, View? How you doing? I get that, Graham. Cal.com is not a developer tool. Cal.com is a product that non-developers are totally expected to use. Integrating with Cal.com at that point becomes extra. Now, I think it's absolutely essential to have a realistic open API spec for enterprise clients that need to wire things up to their own internal tooling of some kind, right? The other option is that Cal.com creates and owns all those integrations instead. At some point, that's unsustainable, though, right? At some point, you're just a dev shop for your clients instead of actually just providing them a service or a value. So yeah, I don't know. I think having a reliable open API spec is essential for enterprise clients. But maybe enterprise clients aren't on their radar yet. It really should. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. That's why I tried to throw my hat in the ring, not literally, to see if they wanted to hire someone to do this. But nope. And it makes sense. But yeah, I just think enterprise style, you gotta have a trustworthy open API spec. Exactly. Yeah, we don't do that here. So yeah, all we got to do is pass time zone and name. So that's easy enough. Let's make sure it's actually going to be response JSON.schedule. Nope, which is why we're not going to complete this. We're just going to do a little bit more. Because I got things I do need to work on that, well, they won't be paying me. They could eventually pay me. So yeah, Vexilla. We're going to get back into Vexilla stuff probably tomorrow. I think you're misunderstanding what complete means in this case. No, I haven't checked out StyleX yet. We're going to get the PR to a point where their deficiencies are documented and our testing is runnable, and they can go forth and do more after that. We're going to have deliverables in the PR, but we're not going to completely revamp their entire Open API spec for them. We're going to knock out some of the low-hanging fruit, and that's it. Yeah, no worries there, View. A lot of companies out there pushing client-side API integrations. I'm familiar with Cloudinary, yeah. Developing a complex, jumping through hoops just to get it configured with your Node API? That doesn't sound right to me. Should be pretty easy. So I'd be curious about, like, what hoops you're having to jump through. Gotcha. And they don't have good deprecation notices or anything? No, like, warnings or anything showcasing that? We are seeing that a lot of companies don't keep their docs up to date. That's just something that happens. But what does that have to do with client-side API integration? I'm curious about that part. So yeah, this is going to come back with a schedule. Cool. So create schedule is something we can call right here. And this is just schedule. I'm currently unemployed. As of like a month ago. Ooh, you're right. Songbot's down. James, I'm still not sure what you mean by client side for GCP. Or Cloudinary, right? Like, those things require that your API key exist on your server. Now, when you say client side, maybe I think that's getting mixed up. Yeah, try doing the song command one more time. So, yes, I am talking about client SDKs because the client can be from anywhere, but when you start saying client side, that typically means in the browser. So, James, you can probably do that with Cloudinary too, but Cloudinary is set up in a way so that users can upload directly to them, so you're not paying twice the cost of bandwidth. If you don't mind paying for the bandwidth, then you could totally do that yourself, I bet. But yeah, no worries, Castadev, for sure. Yeah, this is a good playlist. All right, so creating an availability, I think, requires that schedule that we just created. Let's double check that. Mm-hmm. Cryptor, thank you for the follow. Welcome. All right, so here they're telling us that schedule ID, start time, and end time are the only required things here, so that's where that schedule ID needs to be passed. All right, so API key is a string. We also need to take in the schedule ID, which is a number. Sure. All right, so the next part. What were the props again? I forgot already. Yeah, let's drag that lower. So here in availabilities, it's schedule ID, start time, and end time. Start time is a string, and end time is a string. Okay. Now, does that need to be a timestamp or a date string? Okay. I doubt they'd allow us to pass start time and end time like that, but we'll try. Let's double check. Is it going to come back as availability? It is. Sure, James. I don't know. I think there's a disconnect. Right? Doing a pre-signed post from the client to Amazon S3 doesn't violate any OWASP principles. Right? So client side is not inherently a problem. No, that's fine. Yeah, I was just wondering like what the whole like client side part of things actually meant, and I don't know, it seemed a little. I don't know how to describe it, but it just didn't make as much sense to me. Okay, so can we create that availability? Oh, and hold on. Nope, we're gonna have to do this. Kill that. Get that back up. All right, here we go. Let's see if that creator function will actually do what we want. And all we're doing here, for everyone kind of just catching it, is we need to create values that are going to replace the hard-coded values that we have in the OpenAPI spec. So if there is a 201 as an example value in the OpenAPI spec, we need to replace it with an actual ID that we know is going to be availability ID. And we do this so that we can do the regular expression find and replace junk. Right, so they have to be their own unique numbers. Which is why I roll it over to like 02 when we get to like the 3-digit. All right. Team Slug already exists. Yeah, that's right. Oof. Yeah, so we can do this. Let's do a date dot now. I think that'll be fine. Otherwise, we'd have to like reseed the whole database. That'd be a lot of effort. Yeah, Seattle.js holiday party tonight. Anyone in the Seattle area? And hey, that worked. Cool. So, that's good to go. And yeah, hold on. A lot of packages and APIs are being pushed to be used on the front end, always looking for ways to make things more secure. Again, right? Using it on the front end doesn't make it inherently insecure. So that's what I'm trying to like point out there, James. Yeah, so whoever told you that JWTs are a problem most likely had a bridge to sell you. No worries, Jens. Yeah, have a good one. Right, there are reasons for session cookies, especially for the fact that you can revoke them. That's nice. You can do the same thing with extra work for JWTs. Some people will mislead you with a straw man argument, a basic like boogeyman argument. One of the things I've heard against JWTs is, well, if you're using unpackage in production, you know, the person who runs unpackage could just man in the middle that request and add some malicious JS. Yeah, number one, you shouldn't be using unpackage in production. That's a terrible idea. And number two, a bad dependency already has the keys to the castle. Now, you're still misunderstanding, James. If a bad dependency that could scrape your JWT makes it into your bundle, that same bad dependency could make requests on your behalf from the same website it's on. Right? You know, like, The difference between the bad dependency already getting into your bundle, there is no difference. They've already got the keys to the kingdom. There are definitely reasons to pick cookies versus JWTs, but a lot of the people that have a dog in the race will mislead you just because they want their side to win. Both have problems if a bad dependency makes it in. No, LG, you're actually missing it. If you have the cookie, the malicious script can make a request on your behalf. They don't even need to access the cookie. The cookie is set within your browser already. That's what I'm getting at, LG. Even if it's HTTP only, all you have to do is a fetch request, and it'll use the cookie automatically. Yeah, they're auto-sent, because you and your JavaScript have no control over them anymore because they're HTTP only. So it's automatically sent to the server. If you just make a fetch request, that fetch request can use the cookie without any extra JavaScript other than doing the fetch. So again, if a bad dependency makes it in, and a focused attacker was able to do that, then they already have the keys to the kingdom. Right? If it's a cookie you use to make requests generally anyway, then it's a cookie any script can use to make a request on your behalf anyway, if it made it into your bundle. That's why XSS is a problem. That's why XSS is not a JWT only problem. Auto-rotate your cookies? Anything that does that rotation is available to the script. If it's just a fetch request, then it makes that same fetch request. If you're talking about auto-rotating JWTs, you don't typically want to do that, but there is an older standard called like WS security or something like that, which is redundant because it's like web security. But WSSec tokens actually were generated and hashed on the fly every time they're sent. And they're single use. So that's an older thing because it requires way more resources on the client. It'll chew up people's battery real quick on their phone, as an example. For the most part, a short-lived JWT is just fine. Now, should your bank be using it? Probably not. But does it matter if Twitter does? Probably not. At least not until Elon wants to turn it into a bank. Right? You've heard that's his plan for X, right? Your one-stop shop for financial stuff, for blah, 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 for everything. All right, more water. Let's stick with the water. So maybe I'm misremembering the name of the token. When you're talking about JWTs, James, yeah, I mean, that depends on your application. Right? The proper way is a short-lived access token and a long-lived refresh token. Sure. Yep. That's a valid approach. The issue you run into with JWTs is, canceling them or revoking them. Revoking them. That's the main term. I don't know about that one, James. Again, whether the refresh token lives in local storage or cookies, the point is moot if something can get access inside your bundle, right? It's already got the keys to the kingdom. So that same malicious script can just rotate your cookie for you. Right? Like, rotate the cookie for itself. Or not the cookie, but the access token. If you're talking about, like, middlemanning an asset from a CDN, like your CDN, like CloudFront or something, that's just as ridiculous as saying you're going to man in the middle SSL. You know, you're not. Or TLS is what it is now, right? But if you're using something like Unpackage in production, right, that type of CDN, well, yeah, just don't do that. Just don't do that. Don't use jQuery CDN in production. And then that problem is gone. But yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong. I just really don't like the focused attacker boogeyman. Right? I respect Ryan Florence a lot. I do not respect that boogeyman argument of the focused attacker. Right? A focused attacker is going to get you anyway. There's all sorts of ways. And if a bad dependency from Unpackage is the strawman argument for the focused attacker that you're caring about, that same hypothetical attacker is compromising both cookies or JWTs. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so dependency chain management, right? Supply chain management, basically. Hugely important. Yeah, you're not going to get a complaint out of me. Like, yeah, totally. Control where your dependencies come from. Big thumbs up. But, yeah, as far as that being an issue for only one side or the other, no, it's a problem for everybody. But yeah, WSSec, hold on, let me double check that. Oh, WSSE maybe? Oh, so web services security, not web security. That makes a little more sense. Okay, I get that. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to find a good reference for this. Let me double check this. If this is doing an HMAC on the client, then this might be what I'm talking about. Muted? No, I don't think so. That might be on your end. Yeah, so this is like SOAP specific. I've used it in just like a standard, I think I was using Symfony and Ember at the time. No, this does seem like it might be it. Yeah, and I was wrong. It's not doing HMAC on the client, but it is a lot of just like... It's a lot of effort to rotate the token properly. And I think that's the biggest issue. So basically, what you would do is you'd send over the token that you got back from your login endpoint, and then on every subsequent request, you'd get a new one back, but they're single use only. So once it becomes single use only, it means you can't do requests in parallel. So I think that gets a little tricky. In a back-end for front-end approach, that might not be a problem. Right? If you're doing it like one request a page just gluing together other endpoints, that could end up working. But still, I don't know. Not great. Yeah, not sure, James. But okay, so we're able to create the availability. What's next on our list? A booking. Yeah, exactly, the bread. It's pretty much like you don't do it for parallel requests. But if you're doing the back-end for front-end approach, you're making basically one data fetch, you know, on page load anyway, or on route load. And then you have your one request to like update something, right? But then if you want to do multiple actions at once, then you're in the same boat. So yeah, that could be tricky. But yeah, what you up to, Todd, Mr. Sir? Yeah, what were you up to today? Wrapping up work for the day? Nice. All right, anyway. Back to what we're doing. Ooh, we'll leave that. And yeah, so creating a new booking. But yeah, what were you doing on stream? Learning over on Spring Academy. Audit was making you blink too much. Okay, okay. And Spring Academy, I'm not familiar. Oh, that's cool. Sure, Damien. No. So binary, right? It's cal.com's API. A booking is when someone, you know, books time in your calendar. It's not your availability. It's not your schedule. It's someone booking a specific thing. Oh, interesting, Todd. Okay. What course were you doing over here? Not that Spring Academy. Okay. I was going to say, like, okay, interesting. So do you mean more like Spring as in Spring.Academy? Okay, okay. And it's more about Spring, the framework, right? Java Spring. Buy VMware. Ooh, you mean buy Broadcom? Buy VMware, buy Broadcom. Gotcha. Yeah, I thought that seemed a little weird. The other Spring Academy. Yep. Ooh, they already changed that one out. Yeah, it seems cool. Yeah, are you using a lot of Spring? Ah, okay. There we go. Then we'll know. Going back to learning Java Spring? Yeah, it makes sense. I was just curious if there was like a major reason. Whoa, bookings take in a lot, and we end up needing an event type ID. So we got to create one of those to be deleted first. Yeah, Python is the most recent SDK we made for Vexilla. Ooh, binary. What you're misunderstanding is Todd Libby does like accessibility auditing as like a service. In some cases, you do not need ARIA for things that are already accessible. Right, so it's more about superfluous ARIA tags because someone heard you just need ARIA everywhere. ARIA tags are things that you mark up your HTML with to make them more accessible. In many cases, if you're using standard HTML elements, you don't necessarily need ARIA. It's when you start trying to get real fancy with your JavaScript-y components. All right, so create user, create team, create schedule, create availability, create booking reference. It looks like it does need a booking ID, so we'll do this part first. This takes in API key, which is a string for sure. For creating a booking, we need event type ID, which is a string. Actually, it's a number. And all that other stuff is fine. So then here, there you go. That's a good like explanation for it too. Yeah, the first rule of ARIA Fight Club though is don't use ARIA unless you really need it. I like that phrase. All right, so yeah, we'll just do this. Export async function create event type. That takes in API key for sure. Oop. All right, so title, slug, length, and metadata. That should be easy enough. All right, so let's go grab boilerplate. The ADA is a law. ARIA is a specification. The Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, is a law, right? And it's for disabled users in public spaces, public sectors, etc. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I'll let Todd explain it. He is far more knowledgeable than I. Dan? Thank you for the follow, Dan. Welcome. Length. What is length meant to actually be there? Duration of the event type in minutes. There we go. So we'll just say length 30. And metadata can just be an empty object. Oh wait, do I have create event type? Ah, I do. Weak. Yep, it was right there. And I made it way too generic, but that'll be fine. Damien, I would say if you're already in tutorial hell, I don't know if a course is going to help you, right? You need ideas for projects you could build. So instead, think about projects that you would want to make. Make sure that you're always writing them down in a list somewhere. If you don't write them down or record them for later, they are gone forever. Sure. again, if it's something you want to work on, go for it. I would say try and get it going inside of a virtual machine. That way you don't actually mess up your own file system. All right, so now we need to create a booking. And we don't need to pass every single thing in. So yeah, event type ID gets created in a similar way. Well, not event type ID, but you know what I mean. So we do that. This is bookings. Hey, what's up, Geralt? Appreciate you. Thank you. So, start is a date time. Interesting. Okay. So responses is an object that I would assume is required, and it requires a name, email, and location. All right, so email, foobar@example.com. Sure. I don't typically recommend that, but that's up to you. Now, he wants to avoid the cloud costs, though. YouTube has no music? Oh, it did, and then it stopped? You should be hearing a little bit. It may have been really quiet, though, quantization. You should be hearing something. Is it too loud? Or is it just right? Oh, it was just really quiet before. Is it too loud? I think it's probably a little too loud. I'm going to dial it back just a bit. And location. Location is an object as well. So location's an object with option value and value. Okay, so we got event type, responses, time zone, we've got elsewhere, language, metadata can be empty. What value are they expecting for language? Just a string? Let's just say English. Okay, so name, email, location, language is actually not on that object. We'll see if that works. James, for a simple mistake, AWS is pretty good at forgiving things. Right? They know it's not in their best interest to get you for the $3,000 you might mess up for now, when instead, if you are a customer for life, you're going to spend way more than $3,000 over that time, right? But yeah, don't make it a habit, right? Practice good practices, etc. But you can actually set limits on pretty much everything. But yeah, AWS is really forgiving, because if they burn you now for a small amount, they'll never get you for the higher amount later. Like, they understand it's an investment into keeping you happy and keeping you on the platform. And for them, $3,000, they don't fucking care, right? And they get to write it off on their taxes. Right? When you have companies that are spending millions per year to host on AWS, yeah, your $3,000 is not something they're going to be like adamant about getting from you. Yeah, exactly. Which is why it's so crazy that Vercel had that drama a little while back. Like, Vercel was ready to burn a client over $2,000 or something like that. It wasn't until it became a big deal on Twitter that Vercel did the right thing. That said, they did do the right thing. I don't think so, Four Wheel. We had that person come into our chat before it was even a story. Yeah, I think that exact person was a viewer. I remember them mentioning it and complaining about it before it ever hit, like, Twitter. Which is interesting. It does depend, like, which story. Like, are you talking about the $3,000 story? That one, I fully believe. Some of the other things that went around about how that one person, Hassan, conducted themselves, I think some of that was overblown or incorrect. But there were definitely some parts of it that, you know, weren't right. I don't know. I don't typically watch Fireship videos. They're entertaining. They're really well made. Meh, they just, I don't know. Not something I'll seek out. I don't watch that much video content, though. Besides, like, Tubi. That doesn't count. Yeah, exactly. They're 100% entertainment. And I watch those sometimes, for sure. Right? Just yesterday, we watched the one about the FFmpeg engineer, right? That one was good. Did you know FFmpeg has OCR? I'm 80% sure. I haven't found the command yet, though. You know, like, yeah, that sounds about right, actually. That actually tracks. Yeah, of course, right? You're sure it has it. You just got to find it in the documentation. Ugh. All right, good luck. All right, so this should be good. This would just be booking right there. Yeah, I think that's the best way to consume a Fireship video. He's giving you a lot of the keywords you need to go, like, you know, go actually, like, find out about this stuff yourself. Printh. Yeah. Yeah, I'm almost... It seems like it to me, I'm not positive, that the Primogen took the shtick of massively mispronouncing acronyms, etc., from Fireship massively mispronouncing things as well. I'd say it's influenced, not stolen. All right, so creating this booking, we should be good. We'll assume we're good. And we'll just keep knocking out a few more of these. I've got like an hour max before I gotta head out to Seattle. Technically, before I head out to some ramen and then to Seattle. I think we could have one. And yeah, no, Damien, so no. It's not going to matter much. A lot of people are on Macs. If you don't have a Mac, there's other things you can do too. What's up, Code Enjoy? How you doing? So, Damien, there's a big difference between the OS on your dev machine and the OS you run on your servers. Right? Things like that. Some people use Linux for both, but they're not using the same flavor of Linux for both. So even then, It's whatever. You can be fully productive on a Windows machine. It's fine. Especially using virtual machines. Ramen from scratch this weekend? Nice. Like doing your own like boiling down of like, you know, bones for bone broth? Or are you just getting like pre-made broth? Ah, making the broth yourself. Nice. Because, yeah, if you have, like, you could just use the standard, like, chicken or pork broth that you get in a can. And, yeah, it's really easy. I do a can of the chicken broth, like a big, heaping, helpful spoonful of miso. Stir that up, microwave it while I'm cooking the chicken. Put it all together, and we're done. Like, it's so quick and easy. I'll even microwave like the ramen noodles just because it doesn't matter, you know? And then combine that all together and you're good. Heavy amount of garlic as well in the broth, you know, flavoring wise. I really like the ramen I've been making myself lately. It's pretty solid. Yeah, exactly, Henrique. Yep. Yeah, always garlic in the broth. Endive? I know I've heard of it. I don't remember what it is, though. Let me use the restroom real quick, though. I'll be right back. And I should throw my phone on the charger while I'm waiting, too. So, BRB, let me go use the restroom. And yeah, we want to keep hacking out these temporary IDs so that we can actually delete these things so that we can get more of our tests passing. We've only got 80 so far. We're skipping 46. 36 of those skip tests are deletes. So we can get our passing tests up above 100 real easy. And then, yes, there's still more stuff. I would like to finish it before we're done today. So, BRB, let me go use the restroom. All right. Oi. So yeah, I don't know what endive is, so yeah, not sure. We could look it up here in a sec. And yeah, I had to use the restroom. And yeah, I can have a beverage. Oy. And yeah, Henrique, 3 streams? Hell yeah. So this is whiskey, then I mix it with water. Oof. And then I do some lemonade mix. Calling it a CM Griffing lemonade. Leafy green salads and grill it, roast it, braise it. Ever made a whiskey sour? I think this is actually pretty close to a whiskey sour, but it's more like lemonade-y. But no, I don't typically do whiskey sours. I just do this, like, you know, this lemonade. It's not a bad idea there, Four Wheel. It doesn't come up that often. But you're right. That would be a good command. Yeah, is that like the really like curly thing that you get as like a garnish with steaks and stuff like that sometimes? Nope, not what I was thinking of at all. Nope, not even close. I forget what that one is. Like the really, really curly one. Yeah, Damien, I'm definitely not doing that. That is way too much effort. The lemon juice and sugar syrup, that's basically the lemonade part, right? But egg white, no thank you. Ice is too much effort. But yeah, I don't care about the creamy top layer. No thanks. I'm pretty lazy. I'm pretty basic. If I'm out drinking at a bar, it'll probably be like, you know, whiskey cokes. This is going to be create booking. We pass the API key in that event type ID. This API key is pro user API key still. And the event type ID is just event type dot ID. There you go. Oh, I just saw that. Hold on. You did do that. Yeah, my bad. All right. Let's grab it. Now, keep in mind that this GIF needs to be under 1 megabyte. Is it under a megabyte? What's that? Whenever a song is playing, I get muted? What do you mean by that, Damien? It is? Cool. Oh, really? Like maybe it's just louder than me or something? Okay. And yeah, I think we have something like 500 users signed up for StreamParrot right now. I'd have to go like look at the math, like look at the numbers. We are getting real close. We only have 20 emotes left before we have to start like getting rid of some. And wait, hold on. Code isn't taken yet? Oh, okay. Yep, that was my bad. Damn, I didn't think it would go through that quick. So, other image. $470K, perfect. There we go. Sus. If you ever want to see the full list, it's just that command. Yeah, thanks, Enrique. Appreciate that. All right, so we've created the event type, the booking. Oop. A booking reference ID. I don't know what that actually is. It does take in a booking ID. All right, so there's some stuff there. What all is required? It looks like type and UID. It says booking ID is a Boolean? I don't think it is. Yeah, it's definitely not. What? Come on, man. Oh, thanks, Four Wheel. Most of those are created by other people. So yeah, they did a good job. The yeet is really good. You're not wrong. Yeah, the yeet is really good. I'm really proud of that one. I wish I could claim I made it up, but I didn't. Oh yeah, I call that smoke trick the Raging Bull. It's look. There you go, verbs. It's definitely look. He takes the glasses off and does the face. Yeah, pretty solid. All right, so everything can be nullish for the booking reference model, besides type and UID. Yeah, here's the craziest part. I've never actually seen any of it. I should probably do a big old binge at some point. All right, so type and UID, and I think we can just pass anything we want. Let's go look at the actual like logic in here real quick, just to be sure. Yeah, I don't see type or UID happening anywhere. Oh, but it does throw if the booking doesn't exist. It's a meme goldmine? All right. Yeah, I really like the actor, John C. Reilly. Yeah, he's great. He can do dramatic and comedic roles, like, really well. It's going to be booking underscore reference too. All right, so get temporary IDs. We need to go to creators. Create booking reference already exists, and it looks like we've already done that, which is awesome. So we don't need to recreate that whole function. We just need to make sure that we create the booking reference now. Now, what all does that take? Well, we need to do that. And what are the arguments? It's going to be the API key. It's going to be probably pro user. Yep. Booking.id and unique identifier. Wait, how am I using that? So yeah, we can just let that get passed. All right, we keep going through. Creating an attendee. We haven't done one of those yet, huh? I guess we haven't. Let's see if we have a function for it. Create team, schedule, availability, booking, booking reference, event type, custom input, selected calendar, destination calendar. I think that one ended up not working. Webhook, and yeah, so we don't have that one. So booking reference, after that, attendee. We got to go look at the attendee endpoint now. Wait, was what Dwight Schrute's hat? This hat? I don't remember him wearing a beanie. I mean, this is yellow. Right? This is like a marigold at best. Maybe dandelion? I don't know the actual Crayola names, but you know what I mean. It's not a burnt umber or something. I don't even know what burnt umber looks like. I'm just making up words now. I know it's a color. I don't remember what it looks like anymore. Yeah, I don't remember. All right, so an attendee needs a booking ID, a name, an email, and a time zone. All of them are required. Ooh, is this Grey Poupon flavored? Pardon me. Do you have any Grey Poupon? I don't know. I think 90s commercials were amazing, actually. Right? Like the Tostitos commercials. You know what? Yeah, you can jump to the front of the line. Really? No, not really. Like all those, right? Super good. Yeah. It says this salsa here is made in New York City. New York City? Yeah, and like, dude. Yeah. Classics. Oh, I thought it was Old El Paso for the salsa one. Was it Pace Picante instead? They were trashing Pace. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Where's the beef? Oh, yeah, late 90s info, or like just 90s late night infomercials. Classic. I actually have the Mega Memory tape set. It's why my memory is so good. I didn't actually listen to the tape set. You just had to buy it, and it improved your memory. Who'da thunk? Oh, by Manon. Yeah, exactly. The fact that we remember the melody even. Nuprin, little, yellow, different. Oh, I don't even remember those four-wheel. Classic. And it's this big. Yep. Did you know that with one bowl of total, you'd have to consume 100 bowls of the other guys? Classic commercials, everyone. I'm glad we get to relive these together. But wait, there's more. Yeah, there you go. The Micro Machines guy is classic. Ooh, yeah, those are good. Tonka trucks, those were good too. Those are more like 80s commercials, I feel like, though. But good stuff. Yeah, I don't know if my mom even really remembers this that much, but there was a period, I think this must have been like late 80s, where I was always in like daycare after school, which means I got to miss all of the good like after school cartoons. So my mom set up the VCR to do timed recording of Transformers and Silverhawks and all that stuff. Right? Which means that I actually like, you know, had this tape that I would watch over and over and over again. It actually had like the most depressing Transformers episode ever. The one where like zombie Optimus Prime. The zombie Optimus Prime episode scarred me for life. If y'all don't know, you don't need to know. It's not worth it. Oh, there you go. Banjo-Tooie. Oh, I don't remember that, Drown. Okay. Yeah, I never played the Banjo-Kazooie games. Yeah. I'm happy with how the interview went today. I think there was some really good discussions, really good points brought up. I think I did a good job. I haven't had to interview for DevRel for over a year. There you go, James. Touche. Yeah, that was a pretty classic reference. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. Gumby in the mid-'80s? Yeah, for sure. Gumby? You mean like Poke's friend? Ooh, who caught the movie I just referenced? No. I was directly quoting a 90s movie. Kwanzaa! That's your last hint. Oh, all right, I'll do one more. Ba 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 baram. Ba 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 baram. Damn right. Jason knows. It's so good. I love that movie. It's so good. That is Golden Age Rob Schneider before he jumped the shark with Deuce Bigelow. Yeah, it's at Surf Ninjas, I think, is on YouTube right now. I'm pretty sure. Alright, we stick with water. Yeah, I had that beverage a little too quick. We go back to the water. Because I gotta head into Seattle soonish. Ooh, Hulu has Airheads right now? Oh. Airheads has some quality lines in it as well. I love that movie, actually. For all he cares, our demo tape could be Pip farting on a snare drum. Oh, I ain't farting on no snare drum. Like, dude, Biodome is consistently on Tubi. So, Xmetrics, if you're fiending for Biodome, just check out Tubi. Airheads has not made it onto Tubi yet. Oh, I ain't farting on no snare drum. Alright, fine. Pop quiz. Which side did you take in the Van Halen-Lee Roth split? Halen. No, Roth. He's a cop. Yeah, exactly. Okay, fine. Who'd win in a fight? Lemmy or God? Ha! Trick question, asshole. Lemmy is God. Right? Like, it's super good. Super good. I love those lines. All right, so creating an attendee, we have to take in the booking ID. That is a number. And the rest we can just do ad hoc. I think so. Procrastinate? I haven't even begun to procrastinate yet. Duh. All right, so we need to take in the booking ID. We do that just fine. UID doesn't exist. Ooh. Foobar is our name. Our email is foobar@example.com. And time zone, we actually have time zone created elsewhere. We can just copy and paste that. That's easy. Okay, so creating an attendee. Let's double check that creating an attendee actually returns a prop of attendee. It does. Nice. Ooh, I don't know that reference. What is that from? I don't know that reference. I'm a person who prides himself upon knowing references. So now I'm a little upset. Only barely. Okay, Office Space. Yeah. PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean? Yeah, I get you. No, I got the PC load letter. I didn't get the original one. He had said that after I was asking about the ratio of people to cake. No, that's Beetlejuice. That's easy. That one's super easy. Hey, Lawrence, does anyone ever say, sounds like someone's got a case of the Mondays when you go to work at your job? No. Hell nah, man. No, I do believe you get your ass kicked for saying something like that. Oh, no, you're right. That's Batman. For some reason, I saw Beetlejuice saying that line. But yeah, no, you're right. That is Batman. That's the original Batman. Good call. Good call, X-Metrics. I heard it in his voice. Yeah. I heard it in his voice, and I actually, mentally saw the image of Beetlejuice saying it. But he says something totally different. Right? I'm literally thinking about, when he's, the little guy on, the thing, right? Yeah, I mean, that's Grandma's Boy. Different thing. Yeah, we just went ahead and fixed the glitch. Oh, so you let him go? No. He'll just stop receiving his paychecks. We found that it's best to avoid confrontation. Yeah, exactly, Rumple Foreskin. It's like, I don't think all women are driven by money like that. He's like, type of women that double up on a dude like me sure are. Right? Like, dude. And with $1 million, I think I can make that happen. Hey, Peter, turn on channel 9. Lawrence, can you please pretend that we can't hear each other through the wall? Oh, I'm sorry, Peter. I know, it's such a good movie. It's a classic. I'm not sure what that's from, James. Really? Diedrich, whatever his name is? He was on Deep Space Nine? Diedrich Bader? Really? I did not know that. Yeah, he was great as Jethro on the Beverly Hillbillies movie. I think I finally figured out this here game. You take this here ball, roll it down this here gully, and then hurl yourself down this here lane and knock over as many of them snake bashing clubs as you can before the ball gets there. Like how he called the pins snake bashing clubs. Yeah, sorry, not sure I recognize it. Yeah. But yeah, let's keep going. So, attendee, we have done as well. A custom input that we can delete that needs to be created. Looking at timing, though, I got like 20 minutes left I'll let myself put into this before I gotta go get me some ramen and head into Seattle. Wallace Shawn. Oh, him. So wait, where did that come from? Right, like, he wasn't in any of the references anybody made recently. What meme? Oh, yeah. Someone did like an LOL or something, right? LMFAO or LMAO. Got it. Yeah. You mean like it was in an image below. Took me a second. I didn't know what you meant. Took me a second. Now I get it. We'll go to the loony bin together. Oh, it's easy enough. Just takes practice. Custom input. That's a totally different thing. Y'all just haven't heard about it yet. It's psychological. Still happens. We're skipping all of the destination calendar stuff. External ID, webhook ID, those we can actually do. Oh, okay, yeah. There we go. We'll go to the loony bin together. All right, so delete this webhook. Time to make dinner? Oh, yeah, thanks, Todd. Appreciate you. Yeah, thank you for the raid earlier. So real quick, James, like, we don't get into language debates like that. They're just not entertaining for anybody who's done this for more than 6 months. For more than a year. For whatever, right? Like, super boring getting into language debates like that. Okay, so I think we have replaced as many of those as we can. Yeah, destination calendar ID and payment ID we can't do. But we've created all of those. So now in our Dredd hooks, we are getting this, and we should be replacing the delete stuff that we care about. We're going to skip destination calendar still. I think the rest of this should be good. All right. So we're not done, but did we get most of our delete endpoints to work? So we'll get that back up and running. That is temporary while we do some dev stuff. Now we can comment it, and I'm hoping to see complete tests above 100. Passing tests. There you go, X-Metrics. Yeah. Classic film. Empire Records. Are you trying to, like, get me with a movie quote? Oh. This will be interesting. My favorite part of Empire Records is recognizing the fact that that Lucas is the stoner from Dazed and Confused. Right? The guy that's ranting about, like, Martha Washington. I really like that bit. So, we got a flaw here. They're saying it's on get temporary IDs.js line 14. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, Joe something. All right, I guess Joe is his name in the movie. I forget what his actor name is, but he's great. Ah, shit. Hold on. So line 14, booking.id did not work. Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't seen that. I don't see a lot of, like, new stuff, though. My guess is I forgot to pass some value to that? Oh, invalid type in metadata. Did I forget to pass metadata? I did. Attempting to book a meeting in the past. Ah. We need temporal so I can do this in a programmatic way. Will it blend? No available users found error. Okay. This is one hell of a function. Oh my. All right, so we don't see that error anywhere. Okay, so it was all the way up on line 496, not way down here, somewhere past, oh my god. That is one hell of a file, man. Hey, you guys got like a function in your app that calls every other function? Yeah, we do actually. How's it going there, Standard? We do actually. Huh. You're in luck. Am I though? Like, I don't know. So keep in mind, they're not all the one function, right? There's actually a bunch of top level ones that then get called in like the main one below. So it's not all one big function. Technically, this one is one big function. Ooh, maybe not. Hold on, let's double check this. So the handler is only 1900 lines, guys. Like, no big deal. It's okay. We'll totally just go check the tests. Right, anyway, we're not trying to dunk on it. This is an obvious thing that could be fixed eventually. No, I'm willing to bet some of the refactoring we see was actually creating some of these individual functions instead of one giant handler function. So I think splitting out these functions is actually one of the big things they did, right, to help starting refactoring this. Yeah, I mean, they've already extracted out individual units that are not necessarily that unit testable unless you want to do some hacks of overriding the Prisma import. Old movie related question? When I think of the name Audrey? Is that a Blazing Saddles reference? No, I'm thinking of Headley. Sorry. Yeah, no, I think you got me on that one. Keep in mind, I don't like that many old movies. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Was that the plant's name? Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't remember hearing the plant's name that much. Yeah, I remember Seymour. Yeah. Feed me, Seymour. All right, so this function right here, ensure available users. Oh, this is interesting. So available users is there. Where is users coming from? Event type.users. And then they're pushing to available users here. If there's no conflict. Okay, so that's it. I think I get it. So it's creating the booking itself. The event type is created there. The event type takes in... Oh, no. It's availability. So our availability, I think, needs something. Yep. I think it's interesting that returns with a 500, though. Nope, still the same problem. Yeah, so we're running into issues creating the booking. I'm curious what responses means here. Like, I'm messing up something about responses here, I bet. But I still think it's actually related to creating our event type as well. No, I don't think it's event type. I think something about how I'm doing the email and name stuff might be it. But at this point, yeah, I need to get ready. I need to go get some ramen in my belly, and I need to head to Seattle, because it's holiday party at Dredd.js tonight. Man, it seemed like we were so close. But we at least know where we're leaving off. We're going to have to do some more work on that tomorrow. Once we get that passing, we should be able to do all of our delete endpoints, and then theoretically, we should be able to fix some of the other, like, create endpoints, right? Where creating something should give us a 201, but we're passing the wrong value, so we get a 400. Sure, yeah, I use all sorts of languages. I do it all. I'm a polyglot at my core. Is Theo still going? Or is my Twitch, like, out of date? He is still going. Cool. Looks like he's in the middle of recording a video, but yeah, we're going to go raid Theo. I haven't had a chance to raid him for a while. Yeah, it was a fun day today. Super fun. So, yep, I'm going to go to a meetup. Everyone over on YouTube, thank you for lurking. Thank you for chilling. Not much going on the YouTube lurks today, and I get it. It happens.